Hi, my name is Sam, and I will be an incoming medical student at the Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine this fall. My path towards medical school definitely falls into the non traditional category. I have been working in academic research for about the past 3.5 years and have applied to medical school twice. The second one being the most successful application process, as you can probably see. And I think going into my first round of applications, I just really wasn't prepared or wasn't really coached on what to expect, whether it was about writing my essays, submitting secondaries, and also inevitably preparing for interviews. And so by the second time I had applied to medical school, I think I had a better idea of what I was getting into, but also knew how critically important it was to ace the interview, depending on the different types of interviews that I might encounter through the application cycle. So I ended up getting 3 interviews, all for osteopathic medical schools. It just so happened that I had more luck as a non traditional applicant with my scores and my GPA, that I was a better fit for the osteopathic medical programs. I think that my personal philosophy better aligns with the osteopathic philosophy of medicine, but a big game changer for me during the second application cycle compared to the first was how personally prepared I felt for my interviews. And one of the biggest factors that I think contributes to that is the fact that I had reached out to BeMo. Prior to reaching out to BeMo, my preparation for interviews had consisted of watching YouTube videos, figuring out what questions to expect, reading books, really making sure I expressed myself and my story in a clear and coherent manner. But the closer and closer I got to interviews, my nerves started to set in. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that I'd gotten from friends who are in medical school, friends who are doctors, was to reach out to as many people as I could and to get interviewed by them, despite whatever backgrounds they were from, whether it was people in medicine or people not in medicine. Having someone to kind of communicate to or get asked questions by, I found was extremely helpful. But when you talk to other people who don't quite know what the medical school application process looks like, you don't get the full experience of how often intimidating a medical school interview can be. And so it was, for me, I had reached out to BeMo maybe a week or two before my interview because I was getting last minute cold feet. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing everything I possibly could to prepare myself mentally, emotionally, for whatever I might expect. And so for me, all of my interviews were one-on-one interviews. And so when I was matched with my mock interviewer, that was all we had done together. And so what I found extremely helpful was that through BeMo, I could get a very personalized mock interview experience. And I think what sets BeMo apart from any of the other ways that I'd been practicing was the fact that I could actually get feedback. And the feedback was what truly changed how I approached interviews. There were things that I was saying and doing through sometimes that I was doing subconsciously almost that I wasn't quite aware of. And being aware of the fact that I was saying ums and likes every so often really helped me come across as being more put together and more eventually prepared for whatever my interviewers had thrown at me. And so I've had an extremely positive experience with using BeMo for interview preparation specifically for medical school. But if you find yourself in a situation where, like me, you don't really know who to turn to, or you don't know what situation you're going to get hurled into at your medical school interviews, I definitely recommend BeMo. Thank you. Bye.